And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before we do get into today's video, as always, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. So there's a lot I want to go through in today's video. Of course, we were back in action yesterday as we beat Motherwell at Fir Park 3-1. Now, of course, it wasn't a straightforward match. We struggled through the majority of that game, especially the first half, which we'll discuss in just a second. But we got the result in the end to close that gap back down to 2 points between us and Rangers. Now, I do want to go over the match in some detail as well. I've got some notes here of when I was watching it and stuff like that. I do want to discuss the one thing that was spotted by fans and people around Celtic that we've not really seen before against Motherwell. And there's a player I want to talk about as well that we've been linked to in the past. It's more of a question to you guys about his situation and maybe a possibility of him coming to the club at some point. So, of course, the result at the end means so much. That's the most important thing. A 94th minute winner and then the 96th minute goal to make it 3-1. Despite the result and sense of euphoria at the final whistle, it was not an easy game. It was ugly and not the performance that we've been waiting for under Brendan Rodgers this season. But there were, of course, positives to take from that. In similar fashion to what we've seen throughout the season, the first and second half were two completely different games. In the second half, we looked far more brave in our attacking play. Why aren't we doing this in the first half is kind of the question that I wanted to ask you guys. It was so completely different. It was kind of bizarre to watch the transition between the first half and the second half, how different we came out in the second half. It was a game of highs and lows, and mostly lows in the first half, which is frustrating because the proof is there in the second half that we can perform to a better standard. There's no positives to give from that first half. We were really poor. Attacking-wise, offered nothing, and defensively, we looked weak and shaky. When you go 1-0 down before the break, that's where you start to fear the worst. Mard looks so far from the ability to be a starting player for us, and Nicholas Kuhn looks lost in a Celtic shirt. And Rapid Vienna are probably laughing right now because it does look like a robbery. He was very, very poor yesterday. It is kind of annoying to talk about the first half. We won the game, we should be happy, but it was some of the poorest football I've seen at this club for some time, and it is really concerning. It needs to be better. The second half was, of course, miles better. Not perfect, but better. We showed that from the off. And as I mentioned, it was kind of bizarre to see the transition between the two halves. Adam Iwata goal came from being courageous, something we weren't doing in the first half. I think without an early second half goal, we may have struggled even further in that game. This is why we signed him as well. He offers different attributes from a striker than Kyogo, his size and stature and stuff like that. And Celtic were in total control for the last 45 minutes. We thoroughly deserved the winner in the second half. It was a clinical finish by Iwata. And Maida as well, you have to mention, he didn't have his best of games either. He did miss a fair few big chances as well. And Brendan Rodgers does deserve some credit as well for switching up at the half-time break. And the question is, why can't we perform like this on a week-to-week basis from what we've seen in the second half? There was so much better from us in that game. So I do want to discuss the one thing that was spotted in particular. So of course the match reached its climax with the Adam Iwata and Luis Palma delivering crucial goals in the dire moments of the game. It was a collective team effort in the second half which provided the vital win, as we mentioned before. Central to this effort was Tamaki Iwata, whose return to the pitch after a spell of injuries was very encouraging. Of course he's 26 years old now. But he reasserted his value to the team and reminded fans he's still here during the victory. His contributions might not have been the flashiest, but they were undeniably fundamental to Celtic's control of the game in the second half. The Japanese midfielder, known for his outstanding tenure in the J-League, displayed an exemplary blend of precision and resilient defending that underscored his integral role in the team's performance. Demonstrating a passing accuracy of 93%, Iwata completed 51 out of 55 passes, a statistic that speaks volumes about his composure and control on the field. This level of precision not only facilitated a fluid gameplay for Celtic, but also kept Motherwell under constant pressure, allowing Celtic to dictate the pace when they were 1-0 down. On the attacking front, Iwata proved to be influential, with his vision and passing ensuring the ball consistency found its way into positive areas. His defensive contributions were equally impressive, the midfielder breaking up play, getting stuck in and recovering the ball on 9 occasions. The discipline and intelligence Iwata brought to the game were unmistakable. His tactical awareness combined with a knack for maintaining possession under duress was good to see. If this is him just from a back injury without a run in the team or completely match sharp, I'd like to see him grow into this team. The victory marked by late goals from Iwata and Palma has not only secured crucial points for Celtic, but also has breathed new life into their title challenge, bringing the team within 2 points of the league leaders. So, yeah, shout out to Iwata. I think he probably maybe went a bit under the radar in that game. People didn't really pick up on his performance. I thought he was superb in that central midfield role for us. Another mention has to go to Yang as well. I think he warrants a start come Wednesday. I think he should be starting that game for sure. So should Ida and maybe Iwata as well. I think he was superb. Of course, let him come back slowly with his back injury and stuff like that. Now, the thing I want to discuss is not really a story of anything of such, but of course we all know that Joe Hart is retiring at the end of the season, and there's going to be a lot of names thrown into the hat who we could potentially sign. But a player that we have been linked to in the past is Kelleher of Liverpool. Now, I watched this Carabao Cup final yesterday, like I'm sure a lot of you guys did as well, and he was absolutely superb. If there's any chance in this world that we can sign Kelleher, we need to do everything we can in our power to get him. He is a world-class goalkeeper. I watched him yesterday. Of course, he's second choice at Liverpool, probably only due to the fact that their main keeper is probably arguably the best keeper in the world, Alisson Becker. But he was making some brilliant saves from Conor Gallagher's one-on-ones. Like 3 shots in one kind of attack, saving all 3 of them. Just absolutely superb. And I know we've been linked to him before. I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think Kelleher to Celtic could be a realistic transfer, or do you think he's going to cost us too much? But you've got to look at the positives when it comes to him as well. He is a backup keeper. He does want to get first team football regularly. That's not going to happen as long as Alisson Becker is at the club. And the Irish contingent as well with Kelleher could maybe be a deciding factor for him as well. He may be a Celtic fan as well. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below. As always, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.